Today, guys, we got 2 patches for Star Citizen. And yes, I did realize there was a patch yesterday for the 3.22 build for EVOCATI. I'm only just getting over the flu. So at the end of the day, yeah, I didn't have a lot of energy yesterday. And which is why today's video is also late too. I'm just starting to sort of get back into the swing of things now. But I do have this build for the EVOCATI. Right, and then we also have this one. So we're going to go through, we'll put chapters in the video for you and everything like that. But we'll go through and we'll break them both down in the same video. So you get the 2, and you can use the chapters if you want to not listen to one. So guys, obviously let's start with the Star Citizen patch 3.22.0 build 2. The reason we're putting them together is because the tech for this here will most likely work its way into this tech here by the end of the build, by the end of the patch cycle. So they are actually related, which is why I believe they did test both things today. So obviously 3.22.0 build 2, short-term database, yes. Long-term persistence is enabled. Server region is US only. Pledge copied enabled. Starting is $15 million. Obviously testing salvage is salvage structure for testing focus, sorry, is salvage structure and stability testing. Features not ready for feedback is obviously the new player hair system, new derelict systems, the inventory, openable cargo containers, procedure FPS recoil, like weapon balancing and stuff, and the arena commander new maps, multi-crew, and new game modes. Known issues. So in the underground facility, AI are falling through the stairs still. At the Stanton Spawn Closet mission contest, the AI can spawn out of bounds of their intended spawn points. UGF missions, obviously remaining hostiles are not spawning in underground bunkers as well. So just the bunkers in general for the AI spawning are a bit of an issue. Then obviously we got the repair service, unable to repair vehicles that have been soft deathed. This is a known issue in the PU. So multi-vehicle PU, when docking at a station, the docking arm will not extend. ASOP fleet manager, when retrieving a ship, it may be spawned outside the hangar it assigns to. Multi-ship, when quantum traveling, the player can be left stranded in space, their ship will disappear. That used to happen when you walked around your ship, so I'm not sure if that's still just from walking around, you sort of get chucked out, or if it just will despawn. Ships are missing their names and hangar numbers, markers when spawned. So when docked stations, at stations, station arms will not extend. When the missile changes, the UI does not update the reflect when they are ready to be fired. So when you do like a missile selection, it doesn't necessarily update the UI. When multiple players attempt to log in at the same location, the same time, they may be assigned the same bed. The 890 jump, when a vehicle is landed in the hangar of the 890 jump, the 890 jump can no longer stow correctly via the ASOP fleet manager. And the tractor beam physics, when multiple players interact with the same cargo container using a tractor beam, those players' tractor beams may no longer work correctly on their container. And the multi-vehicle ship components, all energy-based weapons state 0 out of 0 in ammo count. In multi-vehicles, the player cannot exit through the ship using the exit seat option. And Arena Map Commander, all modes. Game UI ignores other cards layering and displays above the non-card UI. There were some fixes, but we've also got some new features. So obviously implementing the ability to transform large chunks of metal salvaged from ships into refinable materials. So this is obviously getting into munching, which is cool. You got hull scraping, which is the defined key binding is now G. And then you got the Alt W, which is the fracturing mode. And the disintegration, which is the right Alt plus S. To start fracturing mode on a ship, point your ship to the way you want to fracture. Enter the fracturing mode. Once fractured mode has started, the ship will break apart in a certain period of time, based upon the size of the ship. That's pretty cool. Bug fixes. Fixed an issue causing Crusader to spin faster than intended and break physics. Okay. The multiple mission types, missionable markers are not present. That's been fixed. Fixed an issue that was causing ground vehicles to vibrate continuously while stationary. The AR markers showing your assigned hangar does not appear. That's been fixed. Apparently. Although I think earlier it said it wasn't, so, you know. The brown hair colour is a replacement texture on the Playboy hair. Fixed an issue causing 29% higher entity count from 3.21 when loading into Orison. The total cross-section emission of a target ship can increase to larger than the single largest CC axis value because it's improperly summarized in our proportion. Whatever. Fixed inventory. Unable to drop down menu when right click on any item in the inventory. That has been fixed. The ST passenger seat cannot be interacted with, has been fixed. The player cannot press W to leave the seat inside the transit shuttle, has been fixed. And the Arena Commander launch button becomes error, not all players are ready after selecting a vehicle. So 2 client crashes, 3 server crashes, a service crash, whatever that is, and a deadlock for a client. So that is the 3.22 build, right? Now, at the end of the day, once that's done now, we'll jump into the other one, which is the preview test. So here today we have second round of replication testing on the preview channel. It was roughly for 4 hours. These tests will be initiated on the 3.21 build, and there shouldn't be much notice when playing besides one major feature. So the server crash recovery, and we do have a photo of this. Server crash recovery is implemented in the testing. The recovery process may take about 5 to 10 minutes. We ask it's possible to stay connected and wait it out. Now the reason why I've heard this is happening is because of the fact that it's sending a whole bunch of logging to the servers. But it shouldn't take that long normally, but at the moment it's logging everything, which makes sense. It is a test. Features not available. Party markers are not present for players. Find it difficult to other, especially without active missions. After server crash, during a QT, the quantum fuel isn't accounted for. The distance traveled when the server comes back online. Allowing players to unintentionally not spend any fuel during quantum travel. After server has recovered from crash, shuttle and elevators will desync. And blocks players from continuing without a reset. So they have fixed a couple issues. Viz areas in the TISA spaceport is completely missing. That's been fixed. The new actor player unable to die in 80 player tests has been fixed. The game code characters, players will not log out of their ship spared properly if they will booted into deep space. They'll be booted into deep space, sorry. Fixed PU missions. Missions do not get accepted when viewed in the Accept tab. And also mining network, mineable rocks turn invisible on approach. Now, like I said, this was only supposed to be for 4 hours. And we do actually have a example of what it looked like when so when the servers would go down, you would get something like that. Now, according to what we heard, basically everything would freeze. Everything freezes, you can't free look, VFX stop, nothing moves. The game keeps rendering, but everything is frozen and you can't do anything while we wait for it. Which is good, it's not bad. At least it lets you know exactly there's a server error, and obviously it then goes through and yeah. So that's cool. But yeah, I do find it interesting that they're testing this same day that we're testing the 3.22, because I do believe at some point that the replication layer, will be added into this code branch here, and that's what I think it's all about. Get this working, and then bring it over to here, and once it's working here, give it to everybody to play with. But guys, those are your thoughts are in that comment section below. I haven't heard anything bad about the preview test today, so I presume it went fine. But obviously at the end of the day, you know, yeah, let us know if you heard anything. But as for today, yeah. Guys, apart from that, have a great night. Enjoy yourselves. We'll see you in the verse. Have a great night.